This is Dr. West. Welcome to the Bible Answer Man, and hoping that this question might be a blessing to you.
Dr. Lee, what does the Bible have to say about suicide? Very little, really. There's only one place where suicide is really covered in the Bible, in the Scriptures, and that's found in 1 Samuel chapter 3. And there is the only place, and this is where King Saul had himself killed because of fear. Fear, most of the time, is the primary reasons people commit suicide. There are instances that are valid as one who will commit this act. Sometimes people who commit this, they're rich and they lose their riches. They're famous and they lose their fame. A person can be subjected to unbearable pain, so that's the way out. Some can lose their loved ones, and some can have just no hope. They can be alone and sick and ill and poor, and all those combinations in various forms can drive them to distractions. I'm thinking of a famous actor who was very famous back in the 1940s, but they didn't make a whole lot of money acting then. But he did act on into the 80s, but in a very limited way. But when the jobs quit coming, he was used to the fame and probably the money, and he couldn't cope with that, so he took his life. And there was another supporting actor who was very good, but there again, he wasn't extremely popular, so he probably went the same thing. So, yeah, there are instances when suicide can be examined. There are 16 countries that are listed among those with the highest suicide rates. You can find those if you research those. Rafa holds the position that people, first of all, they have a right to defend themselves against certain things, and God will honor that. Brain traumatization can be a problem beyond the logical, and that's what we would believe, that anyone who would self-kill or suicide, which is what the word is, are not really operating in their total saneness, because I'm reminded of a person who was a tail gunner in a B-17 in World War II. His aircraft got shot up badly, and he looked back at his parachute was on fire. And rather than burn to death, he elected to jump out of the aircraft without a chute, and he was falling. And when he hit the ground, he thought he was dead, but he lived through it with broken bodies. So would God have honored that? I believe that he would, but God preserved him. Hopefully the man, I don't know whatever happened to him. It's not spoken of, but hopefully he gained a new insight from all that. But when we hold that people who commit suicide, of course, it's a strong action, but we would hold that God is just. He will judge rightly, and he will judge the circumstances. The unsaved, they have a whole different situation because they have very limited justification for committing that act, because Christians will not lose their salvation, but they will suffer a certain amount of loss because they elected to terminate their life. And God knows, he knew when that was going to happen. But anyway, I hope that helps a little bit. There is some latitude if that comes into a life by destitution or extreme situations. But God will judge you rightly and with love. If you're a Christian, if you're an unsaved person, you will just be exchanging one terrible pain for a much more greater pain. That's hard, but it's true. Dr. Lee, Lord bless you.